Hi there. Welcome to episode 9, 2022 Gardening Journal. Look, we're outside. It's very exciting. I don't know what I'm going to do this week. I have to plant the peppers and basil, so we'll get that done. There's a giant bee next to me. Plant some flowers for those giant bees to be happy. I got a rosemary and a thyme I need to plant, but really we're getting close to being done with the planting, which is interesting. I've been working so hard for so many weeks on getting this all set up. We're getting close to being set up. Got to fix the hoops on the corn and bush beans birdies bed. Those tall hoops are not working. I'm going to reinforce them with some posts. That way I can raise them anyway as time goes on. I don't know. We're going to do some puttering and some other stuff, and we'll see what happens. But let's start with a tour of the garden. Tomatoes are starting to grow nicely. The first one, the second one. All growing down the line pretty well. These obviously were a lot smaller to begin with. That one is doing pretty sad. We might replant that one. And definitely in the next week or so, I'm going to plant another row right there. Maybe this week, maybe next week. We shall see. This is the last thing I planted last week. It is watermelon, sugar baby watermelon, little baby watermelons. I think there's like six seeds in there. It doesn't look like any of them have sprouted yet, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. These are the 5 broccolis I planted last week. They look happy. They're not going to grow though. It's already 78 degrees out, so yeah, they want cooler weather. I was too late. Herbs are all happy. Lavender, parsley, stevia, sage, oregano. I got a thyme and a rosemary for right there for today. What do we got here? The fennel and the baby bok choy. Don't see anything yet on those. These plants, these trees, are growing, but they're really getting flooded. So I think what's happening is they all need to be raised. That one's raised, that one's raised. They're draining. These two are not. So we're going to get some more rocks and raise the rest of these today. All of them need to be raised, which is making me question a lot of this. All of those are raised. These are not. Might be the problems with what's going on with these raspberries, but I'm feeling the soil and it's moist, but it's nothing like that. So I don't know what's going on here. This is rosebush. It's doing well. Got a couple little rosebuds happening. Got some brown leaves on the top here. I don't know what's up with that. That's a little alarming. These 2 raspberries, still nothing. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. The grapes are doing great. This is a new apple tree that is doing nothing, which is ironic. All of these stayed in the garage for 7 months, and they're all fine. I should have planted that one straighter. That was a mistake. It'll get transplanted at some point. I really planted them so that their roots were happiest. That was the primary consideration, so they're a little bit crooked. And then we take them out of the pots and we put them in the ground. Hopefully at the end of this summer, they will get straight. But all of them have bounced back to some degree. They all have leaves now, all 4 of them, which is just amazing. Just amazing. Can't believe it. Also, these are nicely trimmed with their branches. This one is just the center root, no branches, and nothing is happening with it. I really don't know what's up with that one. Let's check the soil. Yeah, the soil's fine. So, I don't know. It's kind of a shame. But ironically, that was the backup for those.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a little filming in the garden. So the strawberries are doing well. No berries on them yet, but I don't know. Looking good. Looking good, these strawberries. Got some runners. I think you're supposed to take the runners off. This is where I planted the seeds of the strawberries. Doesn't look like any of those have sprouted yet. We won't panic on that just yet. And this is where I'm going to put more strawberry plants, but I haven't found any. I need to go probably to the Lowe's, which is 10 miles away. Maybe next weekend. Maybe tomorrow. Here is our lettuces. They're doing very well. A weed. I'm excited about all these lettuces. They're killing it. Including this new ice queen that came from seed. This is the spinach that came from seed. This is the spinach I transplanted. It is all doing really well. This is where I had a leak. It is dry. I think I got that leak fixed. I got some seal tape. This is still very mushy here in the draining, but we're gonna worry about that later. Potatoes, that one sprouted, so that's the second one to have sprouted. That one sprouted, that's the third one to have sprouted. These two haven't sprouted yet. No. That one's going gangbusters. So we got 3 sprouted, 7 not sprouted. That's pretty good though, right, Jane? That one's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. New blueberry bush, very sad. Old blueberry bush, very happy. Old grapes, very happy. New grape doing pretty well. Additional 2 raspberries failing miserably. So I give myself a B+. What do you think, Jane?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so we're gonna go plant a birdies bed of peppers and some onions in between. Let's do it.
Go. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. I still can't find my hoop connectors to put tall hoops on this one, which it's gonna need because these are peppers and they get really tall. But I've got a couple weeks to find them. I'm sure they'll turn up and I'll try and order some more. Now we're gonna fix those bent hoops. Get them more supported because they're gonna have to go even higher eventually. Well, I'm never gonna win any awards for the most picturesque beds, but that's better. It'll work. Let's move on. Over here, well, good and bad news, but it looks like the cucumbers suffered a bit from the cold. It actually got to 32, so looks like those 2 there. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant seeds right next to them and see if the new ones grow any better. That sucks. I'm glad I waited on the peppers though. Crap. No sign of the beets yet. No seedlings there, so we'll keep an eye out for those. This is the carrot and radish bed. I don't see any seeds yet, so that is very sad. Hopefully by next week. Hopefully I didn't screw the thing up. Same goes for this bed. Celery and onions. Don't see anything yet. But you know, I think they said 7 to 14 days on transplanting. It hasn't even been 7 yet. I did these on Sunday. It's Friday, so we will not worry yet. And same over here with the bush beans and the corn. Nothing yet. Fingers crossed. I'm getting nervous. All right, you probably couldn't see that. That was a terrible filming job, but I made some changes to the irrigation here down at the end of the hoop house. I have this swamp here where this bed is draining into a depressed area that exists because that's where I dug out the gravel at the very beginning of this whole project. So I'm going to fill in that gravel with dirt and raise this up 2 loads. It's tomorrow's project. It's going to suck. Move all these buckets out of the way, rake back the mulch, put 2 wheelbarrows full of dirt there, put the mulch back down, put the rocks back down, put the potatoes back down. We're going to do that tomorrow. But I think the leak was coming from right here. There was a leak in this connector here. This is the far end of the irrigation loop, and it was where the loop was closed. So the loop goes all the way around the house and made a closed loop. Now I've broken the loop and closed off both sides. Seems to not be leaking. These emitters here might have been over leaking, the ones right where the thing is. I turned those down. So now we got 2 separate lines coming over here. Should help with the pressure. I was having pressure problems where I just planted in the far side. So I'm going to check it all out. These are dripping nicely. These are dripping nicely. These are dripping nicely. So we're going to go check where the peppers just got planted and see if those are dripping nicely. If those are dripping nicely, we're good for today on the irrigation. We're going to leave it. Tomorrow we'll fix this, but my main priority today is continue planting. So let's go check. All right, well, I'm unimpressed with the drip rate on all of these beds. I'm going to wait till tomorrow to see in the morning. But they're not dripping as much as those beds over there. So if that continues to be an issue, what I'm going to do is right here, I'll put a valve and I'll close it like halfway so that the entire hoop house gets less pressure than that to sort of equalize it out and get more pressure put over there. But we're going to do that tomorrow after I can inspect the drip. Freshly done. Okay, we're back. It's the next day. I have planted a couple tomatoes, determinates, a cherry, and a Roma. Thank you, Jane, for your help.
Yeah.
And then right there we added a valve to cut off this entire segment of irrigation because I'm unhappy with how much irrigation this stuff is getting over here. So this one clearly got watered plenty. These over here, less so. So I You can see the water is starting to come through. I'm gonna check the furthest bed over here. This one was not dripping yesterday. Okay, so this is dripping. So I'm gonna let this run for 30 minutes to water these beds. I do see dark spots. I think it was working, but I'm just gonna do this right now.
You feel any drip?
I do.
Feel any drip?
So this is our next task. We have a depression here. It's swampy. These are on raised things, but it's not draining out to that, as you can see. So I got to take all this out, not the birdie's bed, but the rest of this, all the buckets, all the rocks, all the mulch. I'm going to fill that in, level it, and then put a trench so it can drain straight. And then I'll put gravel in the trench so we don't get this swamp here. It's going to be a giant operation, but let's get to it. All right, so I have trenched and then graveled, added more fill dirt so those aren't as swampy. It's all very muddy though. So I'm gonna let this sit and dry out and then maybe add one more layer of fill dirt. I don't know, man, I don't know what to do. It's got this nice drain trench. It's definitely downhill. I guess I could water and see what happens. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, let's do that. Well, I found the leak at least. That's something. I'll fix that, but I'm gonna let it drain for a minute and see what happens. But I guess that's the problem, because it goes there, there, which is just the beginning of my drain path all the way over there. So, yeah, I'll fix that. Okay, so several of the emitters had come off. So this bed was leaking heavily. Just flowing water straight down there, and you can see now it's coming out there, and I've trenched it to there, trenches there, and all the way out. So that, all this is very muddy on both sides, but it should dry now. I'm gonna let it bake in the sun. I tried to use the gravel that used to be here to give me some level walkway there, but the gravel's too covered with dirt. So I'm gonna use these rocks. I'm just gonna pile them in so I don't trip and kill myself when I'm walking through here. And I'll cover it with mulch. Should drain just fine still. I think this should fix it, but I'm gonna let it bake and dry for an hour or two before I put these rocks in here and then get some new, even higher drainage solutions for the potatoes. Also, like 5 of those are growing now. It's pretty exciting. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the other end of the hoop house and put drip onto all of the basil from yesterday and the 2 tomato plants I just planted. Okay, I have filled in, heightened up both of these sides. I've dug a trench along there, and a trench there. That goes to this trench and drains out. I found 5 emitters that had popped off and were just pouring water. I watched that water drain, and it drains there, and it drains out that way. This dirt is still a little wet. That dirt is still a little wet. I added mulch. I added some rocks onto that dirt for stability. Hopefully that'll dry out over time. Elevated all the potatoes a little bit higher so they'll drain even better. It should fix everything with my swampiness. We will leave it for a week to see, but I am optimistic. I really should have left it just unmulched, unrocked, unpotatoed, but I don't have anywhere else to put the potatoes for the next week. So we're going to roll the dice. All right. Now we got two more whiskey barrels, and I got a Roma and a cherry. They're gonna go in these. They're gonna go in there. And then right here I got three sort of strip planters, two sort of strip planters where I'm gonna put all the flowers. So we get some pollinators along here, even though, my God, there are so many bees around here. I don't really think that's gonna be a concern of ours. But I wanna get these two tomatoes planted. All right, so cherry, Roma, determinants, with cherry, San Marzano. They're all irrigated up and ready to go. We got our indeterminants. I added one to the end here. I irrigated it. I was gonna add my remaining 4 or 5 here, but I just don't think, I don't know, I'm torn. And I don't have enough drip tape to do it, drip tubing, or the right kind anyway. So we're gonna hold off on that until next week. I feel very bad about this moth. I'm gonna try and get it out. So this one on the left is all the flower seeds from weddings. 4 different couples, including my sister, have sent me flower seeds, either with their wedding invitations or at the wedding. But I've just let them pile up, and they're all pretty old. These couples are all happily married for several years now, pre-pandemic, so God knows if any of those seeds are going to work, but I wanted to try. And if they don't work, I'll put something else in there. I have a few ideas, but I'm going to give them 2-3 weeks. And then this one is 2 free seeds that I've gotten through ordering other stuff, some milkweed and some common borage from San Diego Seed Company. So just wanted to get these flowers here for tractors. So this one says it attracts bees, pollinators, and moths. And I just had a huge moth that I just had to get out of the hoop house and guide it out. So I did that. So this I figured would be good to have right here. Yeah, that's done. Okay, we have planted sunflowers along the walkway to my mother-in-law's house. And we've irrigated them off of the furthest most birdies bit. So this is the most extreme part of the irrigation. It might not work, but you know what? I grew sunflowers as an idiotic kid in Fairbanks, Alaska, in an incredibly dry climate. Never bothered to water them. They grew fine. But maybe my mom was secretly watering them. Who knows? But anyway, they're done. We got the irrigation running. It's gonna be a while, but I will check out this end loop I made here, see if we've got water in it. And that is it for the week. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys in a week or so. Take care.